So we just saw a video about Mackay ocean thermal energy conversion, OTEC, and we can look it up in Wikipedia and see that the energy source is driven by the warm thermal energy of the ocean at the surface. Because the bottom of the ocean everywhere is water at its most dense point, which is 4 degrees Celsius. So while the Mackay facility in Hawaii is pretty good, it's much better elsewhere where the surface water is more than 24 degrees Celsius warmer than this 4 degrees Celsius bottom water. The downside of this is that there's not a lot of people living in this area, so there is not a lot of demand for that electricity. However, compared to the absolute scale of about 300 Kelvin, this 24 degrees Celsius is still very small, limiting the maximum Carnot efficiency to well under 10%. And then with the inherent inefficiencies of the Rankine cycle and parasitic losses from having to pump dense seawater from great depths, the major challenge is being able to generate significant amounts of mechanical or electrical power from this large but relatively small thermal gradient. Small compared to the thermal gradient you get when you combust something, or even concentrated solar energy. We can also look at the closed loop and open loop turbines that can be used to generate electricity from this thermal differential in ocean water. So here you have that warm surface water and the cold water. This is your internal loop of ammonia which never gets out. In an open cycle, the warm seawater is directly evaporated. This warm water vapor drives the turbine and then cools with the cold ocean water and condenses, forming drinkable water, which is one of the byproducts of the open loop cycle. The downside of the open loop is that you have to maintain a particularly low pressure, well below atmospheric pressure, to drive the evaporation of the warm seawater. The lower pressure means lower power generation, and it also means you have to maintain a pump here to keep the pressure below that of atmosphere. If we look for Mackay, we can look down and see what they're doing, that they have a small turbine of 100 kilowatts, and marked the first time a closed cycle OTEC plant was connected to the US grid.